Policy Network, which is the gracious sponsor of this event. I want to set the scene for you, if I may. Illinois, unfortunately, does not have a great history of being the most transparent of states. And I want to tell you about a little story that I experienced earlier this year. So I came to Illinois, I moved to the great city of Springfield, and I wanted to do some historical budget analysis. So I said, okay, well, I need the past 10 years' worth of budget documents, budget proposals from the governor. So my first stop was to go to the website, the Office of Budget and Management in Illinois. And I did indeed find the budget from the governor for the current fiscal year 2010. And I said, that's great. Where's 2009, 2008, 2007, 2006, and so on? They did not have historical budget data online. And I thought, this is amazing. These are public documents. Clearly, they've had them up in past years. Where are they? So I called the Office of Budget Management and I say, do you have them? Well, no. Well, why not? We take them down every year. Why? They take up too much space on our website. And again, these are they're decent PDF-sized documents, but they're not going to crash a website. So I said, well, where can I find these documents? Go to the state library. So I trudge over to the state library in Springfield, and the very kind librarians pull all the budget documents for me, and I've got a stack this high, and they say, well, you can photocopy these, but you can't take them with you. So I said, okay, I don't want to spend the next 2 years of my life photocopying all the budget documents. So I went back to my office, and I called the Office of Management and Budget again. I said, come on, guys, I know you have these documents somewhere. Can you email them to me? Oh, well, yes, we can email them to you, Mrs. Rasmussen. I said, great, go ahead and email them to me. They emailed them to me, and within 5 minutes, I had uploaded every single one of them to our website, illinoispolicy.org. So right now, if you want to find historical budget data in the state of Illinois, you come to our website, not the government website, which is just really a shame. I want to talk a little bit about transparency competition. So far, the model in most states has been, we're going to write a bill, we're going to introduce it, the legislator is going to pass it, and there's going to be a government-based transparency website. Government is going to be the owner of transparency, which, when you think about it, is somewhat of a natural conclusion. The state is producing this data, surely the state can share this data with the rest of the state. Well, we've been seeing a slight change here. In some states, the legislature, the governor, or the comptroller have been dragging their feet. They're not going to quite jump into the pool of transparency. So outside groups have been picking up the slack. And in fact, in the great state of Maine, this SPN think tank decided, we're going to do this. There's no reason that government has to own this information. We are going to be the source of transparency in the state. So what did they do? They put in a bunch of FOIA requests, they got the data, and they created their own website. So now you can go to maineopengov.org and find some fabulous tidbits of information. In fact, I was on there one day and I found that the state of Maine, a state park, was paying thousands of dollars for firewood. Now, this was a heavily wooded state park. They had firewood in their own backyard, yet they were spending thousands of dollars on firewood. So that's the kind of information I was able to get off this great website. So we said we want to do this for Illinois as well. We might as well. So earlier this year, we started putting in FOIA requests, got information, compiled it all. In the meantime, our legislature acted. Our governor acted. They actually passed a transparency bill, and they launched a website pretty quickly. We were very impressed. And I'll bring up that website for you right now. This is the Illinois Transparency and Accountability Portal. It's pretty good. They got it up almost instantly. The governor signed the bill. He waited a good time to sign the bill, so in the meantime, his staff could quick hustle and get a website together to go live the day he signed the bill. And it's got a lot of information. You can see agency expenditures, you can search by categories. There's contract, there's professional licensing information, which I think is kind of a new area in transparency. It's pretty good. But it doesn't have to be the only source. So earlier this week, we launched illinoisopengov.org. This is our website. It provides some of the similar information, but we've picked up on some things that the government hasn't yet. For example, Illinois pensions are pretty plum. They're nice. They're expensive. So we went and we FOIA'd all the information for pension retiree benefits, and it's on our website. You can see over on the right-hand corner with the red button, you can find out what every person is making by month on the pension rolls. You can find out payroll. Well, the Illinois website, the state website, does have payroll information, but they left out some key departments. For example, legislative staff information was not included on the state website. They may have their reasons for that, and we said, you can do that, that's fine, but we really should be including the payroll for the entire state government, so we put that information on our website. We see this as a good-natured competition. We're going to continue to challenge the state government by putting more and more information online ourselves to try to encourage them to be better. I think that the state website is great. They're at a good start. They say that they're going to keep adding new stuff. Great. Let's engage in a friendly competition to see who can have the best website. One of the things that we're going to be adding soon, actually, is all the school districts in Illinois have to put on their websites a spreadsheet of vendor payee information. So we've had a couple of interns all summer going around aggregating all these spreadsheets. This is a new model that we're going to upload to our website. It'll have a module for school vendor payment. So this is an example. We already have new bits of information in the work, and they'll come together. I also want to talk a little bit about some of the common problems we've seen in the implementation. We've seen some of this in the Illinois website, some of them in other states. One of the aspects of our website that I love is that every bit of information is downloadable in Excel or CSV format. This is so important. It's great to have these websites where the information pops up on a page, and sometimes you have to scroll or click to the next page. But if you're trying to do data digging, it's difficult. You need the Excel spreadsheet so you can search, so on and so forth. So all of our information is available in Excel. That's not true of the state website. We're hoping that they kind of get the hint and maybe put their information out in an Excel spreadsheet as well. In fact, earlier this week, Nancy Pelosi did something pretty cool. For years, the House of Representatives have had to release information on House office expense surveys, what each member is spending for their personal staff, their personal transportation, their printing, their franking privileges, so on and so forth. These books were only in the basement of Hannon House Office building. They were this thick, and they came out quarterly, and they were dense. And so when I was at the National Taxpayers Union, we said, let's get these documents online. There's no reason you can't put them online. So she finally did it this week. It was great. But what did she do? She put up a PDF. And it's this long document, and it's as if it was in the book format, but it's all PDF. She didn't put it on an Excel spreadsheet. Well, what did the nonprofit sector do? Sunlight Foundation, which has been a good partner in transparency, put their tech wizards to work, and they turned that entire document into an Excel spreadsheet within a matter of days. I don't know how they did it. They've got the tech wizards who can make it happen, but it's just a perfect example of a nonprofit group stepping up and saying, okay, guys, that's nice, but you can go a little farther. Here's how. Hopefully in the future, the speaker will simply put the Excel spreadsheet up herself. I also want to talk a little bit about details of information, and certainly this has been touched upon. I was digging around on the Missouri website a few years ago, and I came across a very interesting line item. The state of Missouri was sending thousands of dollars to a store called Ann's Bra Shop, and it was listed for women's undergarments. And I said to myself, why on earth is the state of Missouri spending money at this shop? Is this an appropriate expense tool? I really had nowhere to go to find out if this was an appropriate expense or not. They actually had to go to the governor's office and say, okay, guys, what is this? Well, it turns out the purchase at Ann's Bra Shop was for female prisons who needed undergarments while they were incarcerated. Maybe a legitimate expense, but I didn't know that just looking at the Transparency website. So it's really crucial as much as possible to try to put these bits of information in context. Information should be updated regularly. There are some bills out there that say every fiscal year a new set of data will be uploaded. Well, that's the letter of the law, but let's encourage our government employees to go above and beyond. It's fabulous when you have a website that is uploading real-time data. Every night new information goes up. Try to make it as up-to-date as possible, and start going back into the historical records as well. If you started your transparency website in 2007, why not work on 2006, 5, 4, 3? The more information out there, the better, especially if you want to be doing historical comparisons. Finally, offer the opportunity for people to follow up. It is one of my pet peeves when we have transparency websites and you find something and it catches your eyes. You're like, what do I do with this information? Who do I go to find out if this is a legitimate expense? Perhaps what you do is on one of the pages you list the phone numbers of the Office of Public Relations for each department, a number that people can call and try to get information, maybe emails. Just offer people an opportunity have more of a conversation over the spending information. On our website, there's actually an opportunity for people to post comments like they would at the end of a newspaper article that you'll often see online, for people to say, hey, this looks kind of funny, what do you guys think? And that kind of draws people attention to that expenditure. We're going to be moderating comments just like newspapers do. If there's something inappropriate, we'll take it down, but trying to get the conversation going about bits of information. And finally, use the information. I really hope that when you're sitting in Appropriations Committee and you're looking at budgeting for the next year, you've gone to your transparency website and you've said, Mr. Secretary, you tell us that there's no room in your budget. Well, then why in fiscal year 09 did you spend $20,000 on a microfiche printer?